Hey guys, this is Rocket Man. I wanted to make some casual videos about what we're going to expect out of everybody in the upcoming Gulf War op, and some tricks to make your life easier on strike. So I'm going to start out with an A-10 video. There we go. So we are loaded out here with some Mavericks Mark 82s, and of course the GAU 8. And our objective is to destroy as much armor as we can in this tank coil to allow our friendly armor to come in and take over this outpost. And in the mission, we are going to have intelligence gathered by reconnaissance aircraft pictures of where units will be set up, so you guys will have an idea of what's going on down there. The general idea of the way I've set up these units is that heavy armor is around the perimeter to, of course, protect from incoming ground threats. And then inside, so we have T-72s on the very perimeter, T-55s backing them up, BMD-1s, APC MTLBs on the inside, and more light armor. And then here we have some air defense as well. We have some Shulkas, ZU-23s on Urals. We also have a Manpad down here. We are not going to know exactly where the Manpads are because they are, kind of too small and too mobile to really know. So I'm going to act like I don't know exactly where he is to the best of my ability and fly defensively until I know where he is. So without further ado, here we go. So first thing I'm going to do to make sure I fly defensively is set up my flare program and make sure that my countermeasures are set to manual. Here's the flare program that I have set up, 4 flares, 0.2 interval, and a cycle of 5. Here's what it looks like if you fly by. So it's a pretty heavy program, but the A-10 has a lot of countermeasures, so you might as well use them, and it does a really great job defeating missiles. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off my helmet-mounted display, make sure that's off because they did not have that in the Gulf War. So if you want more of a challenge, you are welcome to do that, and I would suggest it. It's really not that bad if you know where the units are in comparison to each other. Alright, so I've selected my Mavericks here, and I'm going to select waypoint 1, which is the target area. It's currently 16 miles out. Going to slew my Maverick overhead using China Hat long forward. And let's zoom in a little bit on that too. China Hat forward short. Okay, now we'll start zooming in, speeding up to get in closer. Alright, so we're about 12 miles out. Communication is going to be extremely important in this op. There's going to be a lot of guys trying to target units in the same area. So I'm going to say for this one that Hogs have decided that they're going to take vehicles and heavy armor on the north side. So I'm starting to kind of get into range here. I'm going to say this is Hog 1 in from the northwest on armor north side of waypoint 1. And just like that, my Maverick has found a vehicle on the north side. And then I'm going to say Hog 1 in hot, AGM 65. And just like that, rifle. And I'm going to turn off here, keeping my altitude at about 12.5 and staying out like 3 or more miles. And I'm going to watch this countdown for 30 seconds for my Maverick to hit. Okay, 10 seconds left. And that looks like a kill on one of the northern vehicles. So, doing pretty well so far. And since my Mavericks are extremely useful to have on board, I am going to switch it up and go to my Mark 82s and do a CCIP drop. Because who knows when I might need a Maverick. So since hogs are focusing on vehicles on the north side, I'm going to do a little extension off this way. And I'm going to say this is hog 1 in from the north on vehicles north waypoint 1. I'm running in Mark 82, and I'm going to probably request that my wingman stay on overwatch to watch for any missile launches, and if anyone sees a missile launch out, feel free to call out over the radio missile launch, because it's always a good thing to call. And so I'm going to kind of set up northwest here on the vehicles to try to avoid flying directly over the waypoint. So hog 1 is in hot. Put my nose on. So I'm about 3 miles out, Angels 11 or so. And I'm going to line up on a tank here. I'm going to choose this one because it's on the furthest outside, so I don't think I'll get hit as likely. But I'm going to be dropping some chaff while I go in. Whoop, getting locked up by a Shulka. And Pickle, pulling off. Chaff is out while I do it. Oh, and a missile did launch on me. I think it caught my chaff though, which is great. And shack tank. Did that check it? No. Yeah, those T-72s are pretty tough, so even if you get pretty much directly on, it's going to be kind of a crapshoot, whether it kills it or not. So extending out here, 3 miles again. And when I climb, I usually like to keep it about 10 degrees nose up, 4,000 feet per minute to avoid losing too much speed. And I did not get a very good view on where that launch came from, so I'm going to see if I can, hopefully my wingman would have, but since I didn't, I'm going to run in again, making sure that I'm chaffing as I go. I mean flaring, sorry. Okay, this is hog 1 in from the northeast on vehicle's north side waypoint 1. And Pickle and pulling off. And let's see if I can see any launch. No one's launched on me yet. There goes my bomb. Well, there's a launch. But I know with my chaff program it's not going to hit. Okay, and now I have kind of a visual of where that came from. It looked like it was from that building right there. So I'm going to make that the focus of my Maverick. actually, on second thought, let's see if we can save the Maverick, and we're going to do a very high dive on that building. And I'm pulling a little bit too hard, losing some speed here. So for hitting the tanks, accuracy is kind of important. For this Manpad, I'm not going to worry about it as much. So I'm going to let go of my bomb a little bit higher up. Okay, and I'm going to do a steeper angle as well here. Now let's extend a little bit. It's always important to take your time climbing up to a safe altitude, especially when going up against a threat like a Manpad or something that can pretty easily shoot you. So here we are up at a whopping 14,000 feet. We are set up pretty light on fuel and weapons, which allows us to climb a lot better. It's a big pet peeve of mine that people load up too heavy with the Warthog and they just can't climb or do anything with it. So yeah, the loadout for this will be pretty light, and you'll be starting out with about 60% fuel. Okay, so I've got eyes on that outpost where I saw the Manpad come from. And let's put our nose down a little bit, get into CCIP mode again. $10,000 feet. And dropping, come on. Okay. We don't want to be in here for very long, so nose down hard.
Pull up, pull up.
And pickle, and pulling off. And boom. I do not think that Manpad guy will have survived that. That was a little bit of a sloppy one, but it did the job. Okay, so the north side seems to be hit a little bit. I'm going to focus my attention more on the south side. So I'm going to say something along the lines of, this is Hog 1, moving attention to south side of AO, waypoint 1. So I'm sitting out here, I'm back up at altitude, I'm back out at a good distance. I've got another Mark 82 on board, so I'm going to say this is Hog 1, in hot on armor, south side of waypoint 1 with Mark 82. Hog 1 in a hot from the southeast. And there's our friendly tank. And getting locked up.
Pull up, pull up.
Pickle. That looked like a good one. And pulling off away from the AO. And there's a shack. There looks like some 57 millimeter whizzing by me there. And I pulled a little bit hard there. I lost some much needed speed. So since I'm focusing on these guys on the south, I'm gonna hang out on this kind of south east side to start, and we'll start doing some gun runs here. A little bit too much. Same kind of thing applies about starting about 11, 12,000 feet, about 3 miles out to do a very safe gun run. And I'm going to focus more on the T-55s instead of the outer T-72 ring. This is because they're a little bit less heavy duty. And I might be able to walk away without being killed yet. This is kind of scary. But hopefully we'll have some guys who are working on the air defense and taking care of those guys, so it's a little bit less of a threat. But let's say they didn't do their job. Yep, guns are out. And here I'm doing about a 30-degree dive angle, a little bit less, 25 degrees. It's a little bit shallow. I'm going to start firing at this guy at about, oh, there's the lock, about 1 mile.
Pull up.
And pull off. Oop, there's a hit.
Pull up.
That's not good. Okay, it looks like the left engine's in trouble. But we are still airborne. Oop, we have a fire. That's no good. Okay, so we might be out of the fight on this one, guys. Let's see if we still got our Maverick screen up. And there's no damage to our targeting, so we're gonna fight this one out for a minute. We're gonna just get rid of this Maverick and then go home. I can tell by the situation that this thing is not going to be able to really climb or do any effective gun runs, and it's going to take forever. I barely have enough power to make it through this turn here. So I'm going to fire off this one Maverick and go for home. So I guess I'd say something along the lines, this is Hog 1. Emergency damaged left engine bugging out after one more Maverick shot. Okay, so here we go. I'll line up this vehicle here, and see you later, buddy. And this is Hog 1 bugging out. And shack on that tank, and let's line up for the runway here. Let's check out where we're coming into here. Van Island. So Levan Island, this is Hog 1 in emergency state, requesting a straight-in landing runway 29. And let's say that they're totally fine with that. This is Hog 1 on final, Levan Island, runway 29. And so I'm keeping it pretty fast here while I land because I want to have enough juice that I don't need to hit my engine during the landing procedure. And coming in pretty high as well to keep that speed up. It's way better to be fast than slow in these situations. Okay. I understand. My hydraulics are in trouble.
Altitude, altitude.
So holding off the throttle, you don't want to be throttling up while landing in this kind of situation because one engine's going to overpower the other. So here we come down nice and easy. And brakes out. Pulling back on the stick. Well, looks like we're pretty good, guys. We survived. And like that, we're back at home. Um, Hopefully that gave you guys a good idea of what it's going to kind of look like in the Gulf War op. As you see, it's pretty hard to go in by yourself without any support, which is kind of how it's meant to be. This event's really supposed to support teamwork, but we got in there, we did our job, and we made it home um, alive. So let's look at the kills here. All right, we destroyed the outpost. We killed the Manpads guy, AK 1, 2, 3, 4 T-72s, and 155 T-55 with our guns. That was what got us killed there. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and look forward to seeing you all in the op.